public servant, and all the presenters today, they are public servant in their respective areas in Nigeria. So they are highly welcome. And our today's moderator is Abubakar Muhammad Dakpanchi, who is a geoscientist and environmentalist. He obtained his bachelor degree in geography from Federal University of Technology, Mina. And he did his master's degree in international climate cooperation from Incheon National University in Korea under the same KOICA Scholarship program. So I welcome you once again, and I hope we will enjoy this program and you will listen attentively so that we can see how we can benefit from this prestigious scholarship. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. And Abubakar, over to you for the rest of the evening.
Thank you very much, Dr. Buhari, for that brief introduction. It is our great honor and privilege to be here today, and we appreciate Gamji for giving the KOICA Fellowship scholars this prestigious platform. So without wasting much of your time, today we'll be having two presenters. As Dr. Buhari rightly said, they are 2024 KOICA Scholarship awardees who are currently in Korea studying, and they will be sharing with us both their pre and post experience during the application process and while they've arrived here. The two presenters, the first presenter is Abdullahi Sani, who will be giving us, maybe highlighting the structure, eligibility and benefit of application process of KOICA. At the same time, he will share with us his understanding during the process of application process. And then Emmanuel Hassan will be sharing with us an insight into life in Korea, probably including his academic life, cultural adaptation, and availability support. Both presenters will share with us their experience before and while they are here. So please, I will urge the participants to please pay serious attention to this presentation, because we'll be having some people who are intending to apply for this scholarship that they need this vital information. And even those who probably their relatives will also be interested in this particular scholarship will learn from this a lot. I also urge the participant to please mute their mic where the presenters are actually presenting, and not to interfere with the process. Please, I would like to usher in Abdullahi now. Please, Mr. Abdullahi. But Mr. Abdullahi, please, you can share with us your slide. But while he shares his slide, I would like to give a brief bio of Mr. Abdullahi. Abdullahi Sani is an IT officer at the Abuja Enterprise Agency, where he oversees core IT operations and support tech-driving programs for empowerment in Nigerian FCT. He holds a degree in computer science and is currently pursuing postgraduate studies in procurement management and applied artificial intelligence in Hanyang University, South Korea. He is a certified business development service provider. He was honored for outstanding performance under the World Bank supported FCD CARES program. Abdullahi combines both technical expertise, public sector experience, and a passion for entrepreneurship to drive inclusive economic development through digital innovation. Abdullahi is coming from an IT background, and he will be sharing with us the procedure through application process. Thank you very much. Mr. Abdullahi, please, you have the floor now. Thank you very much.
Okay. Hello, good morning, everyone. Can you see my screen, please?
Yes, it's obvious.
Okay, what about the mic? My voice is clear, right?
Yeah, the mic is okay too.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. My name is Abdullahi Sani. I'm an IT officer at Abuja Enterprise Agency. Currently, I'm studying artificial intelligence, majoring in digital innovation here in Hanyang University, South Korea. So I'm here to, under the Gamji Educational and Mentorship program, I'm here to discuss how to apply for the KOICA scholarship to help our applicant back home in Nigeria on how to apply properly and avoid common problem and succeed in the process. So, okay. So what is this KOICA scholarship you are talking about? This KOICA scholarship is a scholarship program fully funded, provided by the Korean International Cooperation Agency. Here in this program, it's part of the CIAT program, which is the Capacity Improvement and Advancement for Tomorrow program. Eight at building global partnership through education. The KOICA scholarship provides the master's degree and also the PhD, PhD for developing countries. So here in this program, we meet a lot of foreigners from different countries. Like I think there are different programs every year, and you learn a lot of culture. And it's only for government officials from developing countries. So how can you apply for what is the eligibility requirement for this scholarship? One, for the master's program, you need to be a Nigerian citizen. You must be working in the public sector. It doesn't matter which agency, as long as you're a government official, local government, state government, federal government, parastatal agency, you are all eligible. So you must hold, for the master's program, you must hold at least a bachelor's degree, and preferably, it's not compulsory. You must be like below the age of 40. Yeah, even those above the age of 40 do get this scholarship, but preferably you should be less than 40 years old. You must be in a good physical and mental health. At least you should have a strong English communication, which when I can't talk about this, I think most of us from Nigeria, it's good for us because I think we meet people here who don't speak English in their country, and it's quite difficult. So, and you must be officially nominated by the Ministry of Budget and National Planning. That is what is different about this KOICA scholarship. You have to go through Ministry of Budget. They have to nominate your name to KOICA before you go. For the PhD, for the doctorate degree program, you must have all the requirement of the master's degree, but this time the only problem is for you to benefit for the PhD program here in Korea, you must have completed the master's here in Korea. You can't just like have a master's elsewhere and start the PhD program here. So, okay. So KOICA designated Nigerian agencies, when you are applying for this scholarship, these are the agencies or government ministry that are responsible for the application and everything. One, Ministry of Budget and National Planning. If your name doesn't get there, like I believe everything starts there. They do the nomination. Without them nominating you, it's hard. So secondly, your university. There are certain documents you need from your university, like your transcript, sometimes English proficiency, and sometimes graduation letter signed by the dean or the registrar. You also need to go to the Federal High Court for certified true copies if needed. Like the requirement changes every year. I'm going to discuss what I know, and I know it changes. You also have to go for Ministry of Budget, Ministry of Education, who authenticates, and also Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and also the Korean Embassy, all which we are going to discuss what each of them helps to do. So available program. For this program, I know every year they do KOICA do 2 different batches. I know the first one was over like a month ago. Now they have started the second part with limited courses which are here. For the master's program, which you stay in Korea for 17 months, I know we have how many courses? I think we have 4 courses at the moment. We're under the second KOICA. The first one, I think the process is still ongoing. Under Hanyang Global University, there's the e-government and public management for masters. KDI school, there's economic development policy for sustainable and inclusive growth. Yonsei University offers health policy and financing capacity building, and International University capacity building to manage climate change and environment. For the PhD, there also in KDI, there's economic development, e-government at Hanyang University, and public policy at Yonsei University. So the process starts like this master's program also. For last year, my own, which I came through in 2024, you can see like on the pictures on the screen, there's one from KOICA. This is how we received the letter. KOICA sent a nomination, like request for notification for nomination for the scholarship every year to Ministry of Budget. Ministry of Budget have agencies that they partner with, and they know it. Like you can see in the second picture, I think I don't my mouse up. The second picture, I don't know if my mouse is showing. You see a lot of ministries which they share with. My agency is one of these people that we do receive this KOICA notification every year from KOICA, but that doesn't mean only those who are being notified get chance to apply for this scholarship. No, on your own, if you can apply for KOICA, but you need to submit your documents to Ministry of Budget. You can't just start the application from KOICA. No, you need to go to Ministry of Budget. Okay, here are the benefit of the KOICA scholarship. One, your school fees, you don't need to pay. I don't think any of you have not heard of any KOICA scholar in school. You don't even get to see the money for the school fees. KOICA are responsible for paying for your school fees. The monthly allowance, which was recently increased, is up to 1.2 million Korean won. And this is just a stipend, like it's just an allowance. You don't need to pay for your school fees or your accommodation. This is just your stipend, which is the same for those offering master's program and those under the PhD program. The settlement allowance, when you arrive to Korea for master's, you are being given 600,000 Korean won. And when you are here for PhD, for the doctorate degree, you get the 1.2 million. This is just for you to settle, maybe get necessities if you don't have them, like everyday necessity, maybe food before the allowance starts. This is not part of your allowance. When you finish when you are going back after your program, for the master's degree program, you get 300,000 Korean won for completion grant. This is it's not part of your allowance, just take home grant. While for those under the PhD, they receive up to 600,000 Korean won. For your airfare, you don't need to pay anything. KOICA pay for that. For accommodation, all KOICA scholars stay in the university dormitory. You don't need to pay. KOICA are responsible for that. KOICA pay for you. Maybe you just need to apply, but KOICA do the rest. For health and private insurance, which all KOICA scholars are beneficiaries of, you receive money every month. You pay with your money, the national insurance, and you get reimbursement. When they are paying your allowance, they pay you extra with your insurance. This insurance help like in hospital and other, I think hospital preferably, yeah. So application step, that is where we are, one of the most important things. How to prepare your document. This is how you start the KOICA application process. One, it is important for most of us to start early. I believe that's the key. Every KOICA scholar, all of the speakers today and our host, Mr. Abubakar, will also confirm that you need to start early. So you need to gather first thing after seeing the notification, either on KOICA website or you just know about it, because not all of our ministry do receive later from KOICA. So when you know about the KOICA scholarship, the first thing is to organize your document. You need to get this certain document, and most importantly, these documents are if for masters, you need your degree certificate and also your transcript, your international passport, which should be valid for at least 6 months after your graduation. So, and also certain document like the request, it's going to be part of the KOICA form, and there's another KOICA form that help you to fill out certain information. This document, you don't take them to KOICA. You gather all of them, you take them to budget, but it's you need your transcript. Before you take your documents to Ministry of Budget and National Planning, this document needs to be authorized. All of these documents need to be authenticated. So how do you do that? You do that at Ministry of Education. This transcript is not just your transcript coming from the school, no. Another funny part of it is that Ministry of Education needs to receive like your document, an email from your university. They need to send like a copy of your transcript so that when you go to Ministry of Education, Federal Ministry of Education, they can authenticate your document. From Ministry of Education, that is when the document is authenticated, and it's highly difficult. If you want to apply for KOICA, I believe you should start by right now with your university sending this email to Ministry of Education. Ministry of Education will authenticate it, then you move to Ministry of Foreign Affairs, where they notarize your document before you can submit this document to Ministry of Budget. And now these are for graduates who studied their first degree in Nigeria. We have cases of students who had their first degree maybe abroad, UK, India, any part of the world. For these cases, you don't go to Ministry of Budget or Foreign Affairs. Here, you authenticate your document at the embassy of the country you went to. If you studied, like, for example, in India, you need to look for, I think, the Indian embassy or the High Commission, maybe they have something. They will be responsible for to authenticate your document. For students from maybe UK, you go to British Consul in Nigeria, they are responsible for authentication. Then you submit this document to Ministry of Budget. Ministry of Budget, it's changed every year. What I know they do for 2024, for us that came 2024, we didn't do, they collected our names, they nominated us to KOICA. KOICA here are responsible for selection. Maybe they do their own, maybe a bit of selection before they forward it to the university, depending on the number of applicants. For last year, I think we did not like do any interview with KOICA Nigeria. We didn't write any exams. Most of us, we did more of our interview and selection with the university, not with KOICA Nigeria. But this year, I heard due to the high number of applicants, most of the they were interviewed right from Nigeria. Like KOICA did a little bit of selection before sending the names to the university. So for the application stage, when you submit this document, you wait for KOICA. I think you wait for KOICA to also nominate your names to the university. And from that case, when KOICA submit your name to the university here in Korea, you and your mail, you need to be friends, because you start receiving, it's no longer you receiving message like physically from budget or getting a phone call. Most of the time, it's by your email. Your email, you receive a lot of, you should be like, you should take your email very important. That's where most of the communication between you and your university start. The only place where needed will be maybe for our own case, KOICA were responsible to say, we're responsible like to tell us our document. We need to maybe correct certain document and send this document to your university. Whatever you submit to KOICA, there will be a time when you will not be responsible to pay except if you have an issue. KOICA will collect this document from Nigeria and send it to your university for their own document screening. And now, if you are shortlisted after this, after the university screen your document, and the document will definitely return back to you through KOICA. If you are being shortlisted, there's going to be interview. I know all university, I am sure of, for our own case last year, there must be one way or another of interview. Some do video, some call you. It's a very short interview. They ask you, what do you do in Nigeria? What do you intend to do when you come to Korea? How can you link your present work with what you intend to study in Korea? It's like a simple, it's not a big, the interview, it's not so serious. Also for medicals, they also, every year KOICA recommend, I think for the last 2 years, I've seen they recommend Dr. Hassan Hospital, but that doesn't mean you must go to the recommended hospital. You can go to other government hospital. They prefer government hospital. You go to government hospital, go for your medical screening, and hopefully you start expecting your admission from the university. So when you get this admission, the next thing is for your visa, which KOICA, you go to the embassy. When they know you're a KOICA scholar, I think it doesn't take time, because until you get your visa before KOICA can provide your ticket. So, requirement. So I really advise some of us to, if you're applying for a course among the active course available, we should know the language requirement for each school. Presently, for my own school, every school has their own. Some universities are just, if your country is an English-speaking country like Nigeria, you just need to provide the document like Nigeria is an English-speaking country. But for other, like my own university, they don't really care about that. You must write their own English exams, or you must pass a Korean language exams to a particular level, which is quite difficult. Or you must provide like the English proficiency options like ITLS, TOEFL, TOEIC, or the university English exam. This is part of their graduation criteria. Without providing this for certain university, you won't graduate. So this language requirement, I think it's important to know, because if you feel like you have it, you can come with your own certificate, or you can even start writing it, come with it, because for my own university and some other university, it is highly compulsory for you to get this proficiency requirement. So now let's look at the process and the difficulties of the challenges of applying. For the embassy, Korean embassy, the application in Korean embassy is difficult. You can't just walk into, even if you are in the KOICA school, you are applying for KOICA, you can't go to the embassy. When you want, the KOICA embassy are responsible for, after your document are out of Ministry of Budget and Ministry of Education, and Ministry of Foreign Affairs, they are responsible to notarize your document, the embassy. And you can't just go there the same day and get this thing. For you to go into the Korean embassy, you need to apply for appointment, which you send them a mail. You are like your name and your intention. You aim to come to KOICA. You want to go apply for this. They schedule a date for you. So you have to do that early. For those of us that want to apply, if you are going to the Korean embassy on your day of appointment, you need to get all your documents. They don't just do anything when it's not complete, and you need your money, cash. They don't collect transfer, and they want you to come with the exact figure. When we went there, I think then each document was 3,600 to notarize each document, and the document, each page or each document, and the document most important most of the time are your degree or master's if you're coming for PhD, then, and also your transcript, and which other document? I think these are the two important. Some of us do other document, but I think these are every year there's the requirement. They will tell you the document before coming. But and also the request for a certificate of graduation signed by the dean or registrar with CTC on all these documents. It's quite like difficult. When I went to the embassy the first time, I don't have this. They won't give you your document until you provide them. If you study in a Nigerian university, you need to provide them with an with an evidence of graduation from your university signed by the dean or registrar. And they hardly return this document. When you come with it, you don't. When you come there with it, like you never get it back. So for the planning, going to the embassy during the KOICA process, I'm sure you will go to the embassy 2 or 3 times at least before you finish the process. One, you need to go and submit the document. They give you a date to come back and collect the document, and also for the visa application. So now let's talk about the bottleneck, the issues that comes with KOICA, the common issues, and so that we can try and avoid them. Transcript delays. If you know you studied from a Nigerian university, I still it's very important you start requesting for your documents. Sometimes the transcript have delays from Nigerian universities. So you need to get this transcript. And when you are getting this transcript, it's important if your university sent a mail, an official mail from sometimes just a staff, staff of the registrar or someone can send the mail to Ministry of Education. Ministry of Education have 2 or 3 mails they provide just to send this, because Ministry of Education will not authenticate your document until they receive this mail from your university. So secondly is the registrar's letter, like the confirmation of graduation letter, which it must be signed by either the dean or the registrar of the university. Also is the Federal Ministry of Education delay. They delay you without that email. But after that email, it don't usually take time and you pay. So for Ministry of Foreign Affairs, it just have long queues. So when you can do it the same day, like the Ministry of Education, because they are even close in Abuja. So the embassy booking, I think if you have all these documents ready, you should send the email so that they can schedule a date for your appointment early. And the certain document.
Mr. Abdullahi, I'm adding just 5 minutes so that you round up quickly. Thank you.
Okay. So for my own, let me see. Okay, so for my own journey last year, I started, the process takes a while. So I started in February 2024 when KOICA sent the email to my office. After that, it was a challenge. I've started getting the document from my university to Ministry of Education. From my university to send the mail to Ministry of Education was quite difficult. After that, I need to go to KOICA, which when I got there, I know about the email also for graduation, the embassy, and now the medicals. After the medicals, I got the admission from the school, and KOICA provided the ticket to come to Korea. So let me see. Okay, final tips. My final note to this. I recommend we start early. Don't lose hope. It takes a time. You need to have a lot of patience to apply for KOICA. You should follow instructions. Like, don't do things on your own. KOICA provide you with clear instructions for each of their process, and regularly check your email. When you start this process, be very good friends with your email. and keep backup of your documents. Like all of the documents is a normal process, and prioritize university documents. So in conclusion, the journey is not easy, but it's achievable. Every stress, every document, every delay, it ought lead to something. Like it's a nice experience overall. The KOICA Scholarship isn't just about degrees. Like when you come here, the one good thing about the KOICA Scholarship, which Mr. Emmanuel will talk about, is that the experience, you are not coming here like a full student. You're coming here as a government official from your country. So you have a lot of protection, a lot of care. You get everything done to you. It's very like, you're not there as a student rushing for this. KOICA help you with all these things, which I'm sure Mr. Emmanuel will discuss. And also, if you can do it, I believe I'm going to advise everyone, believe in the purpose, prepare this with excellence, and let your story inspire the next generation. These are websites on the screen which for potential applicant can use to get information about all the KOICA process. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Abdullahi, for this insightful presentation. This is well discussed, and I honestly appreciate your time that you've taken to put this together despite the short notification. Well done. That is a good job. Thank you very much. And I believe even the participants will actually appreciate this insightful and educative presentation you are giving out. But one thing that I want to just shed more light on that people should be prepared, honestly. And I know you agree with me that the only tedious process is why you are applying for this. And once you scale through this process, I believe you will appreciate it more, honestly. But you have to be patient. You have to be patient. You have to be determined that, okay, you want to achieve this. Because the rigorous process, to some extent, sometimes you will feel discouraged. I will be honest with you when you are trying to apply for this because of most of the document you are requested to get. But one thing I wanted to put at the back of your mind is that look thoroughly all the requirements, because to be honest, KOICA prioritize their criteria. Ensure all the criteria they stated out, you abide by it, and I think you won't have much problem. That is just what I want to add. Thank you very much, Abdullahi, for this insightful presentation. After our second presenter is done, we also have a room for question and answer so that you ask the presenters. They will also shed more light on certain things that you are not clear of, and they will also guide you. Even after this particular program, you can also get in touch with them. They will share with you and guide you, because this particular presentation is all about to guide you and for you to have required knowledge before you apply for this. While there is always a second badge, as he explained, badge 1 and 2. This particular process now, I think, is badge 2. The badge 1 usually is around February, I guess. So we'll be ushering our second presenter, who is Abdullahi Hassan, who will be giving us, will be highlighting the KOICA scholars' cultural participation, including academic life and cultural adaptation and available support. He will be discussing live in Korea. Just like Abdullahi have actually discussed live in Nigeria, the procedures and what it has actually taken him to be here. Emmanuel will be discussing with us live in Korea and some of the things you need to know and you need to take into caution. But before Abdullahi, you can leave us now. Just take out your screen so that Emmanuel will come in. But before Mr. Emmanuel proceed, let me just share with you a brief of his bio. Mr. Emmanuel Hassan is from Zuru local government area in Kebbi State. He is actually from Kebbi State, and he studied physics from Kebbi State University of Science and Technology, Aliu. Currently, he works with the Federal Ministry of Education and serves at Federal Government Girls College, Bauchi. He is currently pursuing a master's degree in energy policy at Seoul National University. You can see Abdullahi is from the IT background. Now, Mr. Emmanuel is from the educational background. So both of them will be giving us an insightful experience while he shares with us. Thank you very much, Mr. Emmanuel. Thank you for joining. Please proceed to share your screen. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to share my experience in Korea. Actually, I don't have much to discuss. I've already have prepare what I want to. So I want to briefly talk about the academic life in Korea, the cultural adaptation, and also the supporting mechanism in here where we're in Korea. As Abdullahi have stated earlier, I think one of the most challenging part of this KOICA scholarship is the application process. I could remember there is a stage I reached where I wanted to quit because of how tough the process was. I really wanted to quit the scholarship because it's very hectic. But if you are able to pass through the application process, I think life in Korea is very simple, especially if you have some tips on how to go about the culture and to stay with the people in Korea. First of all, let me talk about the academic life in Korea. I think one of the most important thing, initially, I never knew why KOICA emphasizes that we should go and do our medical, because the medical is of two phases. You have to do a medical in Nigeria, and when we came to Korea, they still conducted a medical test for us. So I never knew the importance until when we started the program fully. I get to understand that if you are not medically fit, physically fit, you can't study in Korea, especially for we, the KOICA student. I think the program is supposed to be like a 2 year course, but because of the schedule of the program, they compress it to 16 to 17 months. So it's a very rigorous process, academic journey that you have to be fit to face this the challenge. And the truth is, if you are sick, nobody waits for you. I think there is no room for excuse of sickness or other stuff. So you just have to go as people are going. So I'm opportune to study in Seoul National University, which is the best university in Korea, and I think it's among the first 30 university in the world. I think it would be nice maybe my colleagues like Abdullahi and Mr. Abubakar will share like a minute based on their experiences in their various universities. I think it will really help a lot also. So for my university, the academic life is really, really good. I think one of the best things I get to enjoy is the facilities. In my school, they make sure that everything you need is being provided when it comes to your academics. For example, your course registration is being handled by KOICA. In short, you don't need to go to portal to register your course. They will redo the registration for you by themselves. If there is anything that they needed you to do, they will notify you ahead of time. Also, one of the greatest things is because we that are KOICA scholars, we study in the Department of International Studies. So our courses are being taught in English. So because our courses are being taught in English, we are opportune to meet with various international students from different countries. And meeting these people really helps us a lot because you tend to learn from other people's experiences, how they live in the country and other stuff. So studying in that kind of environment is really helpful. And secondly, apart from studying in the same class with them, it's also important whenever they assign you guys to do some group work, because that's when you get to learn more from them, because you tend to have physical contact with most of them. And one of the things I usually remember, someone told me that anytime you find yourself in this kind of environment, it is not just an environment to learn academics. It's a life-changing opportunity. Make sure that you utilize this opportunity. And as I'm talking to you today, we are less than a year, but the people I met have really changed my life in Korea. So the academic life in Korea is very rough, but with the guidance of your professors and your colleagues, the academic journey tends to be simple, because the way they taught us in Nigeria is quite different from the way they teach here in Korea. Then maybe the second one is the cultural adaptation. I think one of my main challenge in Korea is Korean food. I think I really find it difficult to adapt to Korean. As I'm talking to you today, up till today, I'm still finding it difficult to adapt because most of their food comes with pork. So if you are sensitive to such kind of meat, you definitely not enjoy some of their meals because like 60% of their meals comes with pork. But the good thing is there are a lot of international restaurant that you can get what you want, maybe other cooked food or groceries you want to use. So we still have such kind of restaurant and stores here in Korea that will help you. But apart from the food aspect, secondly is the language. So language is one of the most difficult barrier, especially if you're an international student studying in Korea, because I could remember even part of your, in your university, there are other students that don't even understand English. So the communication, everything is difficult. So that's why the KOICA decided to enroll us into like Korean classes, and they decide to help us with some of the Korean culture by taking us to field trips. So we went for like 2 to 3 field trips where we experienced Korean culture. We went to see how their villages are. We went to see how their ancient kingdom is. A lot of stuff. So, and it really helped us. So for those of us that are already selected for the first batch and will be coming to Korea, I think one of the things I want to explain more is the how to stay with the people in Korea. So I think when we came earlier, we never noticed that in Korean people are very preserved. Not all of them, but most of them are preserved. They don't talk much. They don't care about your affairs and they don't want you to care about their affairs. So when we came new, because of the kind of background we have in Nigeria, we thought it's pride. But the truth of it is most of them don't even understand English for them to talk to you. That's why anywhere you go, in short, you can be with your roommate if he's a Korean, you can stay there for 2 days without talking. Not because you people have problem, but because of that communication gap. But gradually, if you'll be able to speak 1 or 2 Korean language, you get to understand that most of the Korean people are very friendly. Then that's why if you go to subway, if you go to the buses, you find out that everybody is on his own. Everybody is pressing his phone. Nobody is talking to anybody. So I think that kind of life was a challenge to me when I came early, but with time, I tend to adapt to such kind of life. Then for the academics also, I could remember because of my courses, I specialize in energy policy. We have a lot of educative industrial field trip that are very educative. Most of the things we're being taught in class, we're being taken to most of the industries to see how these things work. So it's a really nice experience. And all these field trips, I'm telling you, have been sponsored by KOICA. KOICA sponsored everything. You don't need to pay a dime for the field trip. Then also, when it comes to life in Korea, I think if truly you want to enjoy life in Korea, there are certain things you need to adapt. And most of these things are your applications. We have like the Papago. The Papago is a translation application that works like Google Translator. It enables you to have conversation with people. For example, you can go to a market and you find out that the seller is not understanding single English. So you have to use Papago to either do voice note for him or to write for him to understand. Even in the academic field, when you meet the non-academic staff, you find out that not all the non-academic staff understands English. So your translator is really important to you if you want to survive in Korea. Then secondly, we have an application here called Kakao. So KOICA is an application. Most it has a map that will help you to move through Korea, but most of the thing they use for with this KOICA is for chats like WhatsApp, because you find out that in Korea, a lot of them don't use WhatsApp. So you need like the chat application for you to have conversation, either for group assignments or your class group or anything. Even your department, if they want to communicate to you, they do that through KOICA, not WhatsApp. And then one of the most important application that really helped me in Korea is the Naval Map. The Naval Map is like Google Map, but it's mainly for Korea, for Korean metropolis. So what you need this map for you to be able to navigate around Korea. It works like a Google map, so it helps you to move around Korea. It helps you to see schedule for your train, for your bus, anything you want to see. Also, you can use this Naval Map to see to navigate. Yeah. Then the last one is the Kupang. Because most of us are new in Korea and we find it difficult to locate stores in Korea. So you can order anything you want, be it food, groceries, electronics, anything you want. You can use Coupang and get what you want, and they will bring it to your own doorstep. Then the takeaway, I think one of the best things that will really help you in Korea is when you find yourself in academic settings like this, where you have a lot of international students. The best thing to do to reduce some of this burden. Oh, I forgot to say, I think if truly you are not social in Korea, I think it will be difficult for you to survive, because I knew the kind of challenges I pass when I don't go out. So the best thing is for you to find groups like cultural groups, like international student group. You join them in international student activities. With that, it enables you to make friends. It enables you to know people. Also, aside from making international friends, also locating your local community, like a Nigerian community in Korea. I think this is one of the most important thing that have ever happened to me in Korea, is the location of my Nigerian community in Korea. It really helps me, and it's still helping me. So, I think these are some of the things I have to share with you regarding the life in Korea. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Emmanuel Hassan, for this insightful presentation. You are well appreciated, and I believe even the participants, actually, despite they are in Nigeria currently, they will feel as if they're in Korea. But funny enough, there's one aspect you've forgotten, which I will remind you quickly, is the weather aspect. I think you need to you need to maybe probably shed more light on that experience, right? Because most of us from Nigeria are coming from a tropic region. Actually, we'll be interested in that particular. So I will give you like maybe let's say 5 minutes more, so that you dwell more on that, because I know you have a very good experience in that regard also.
Yes. I think yes. I think Korea has about 4 weather. They have this winter, the summer, the spring, and the autumn. I think one of the most challenging one I have faced so far is the winter, because this is my first time of experiencing winter, where a temperature drops up to -16, -17 degrees. I think the first time I came, I thought it was a joke. So there was a day I went out without a glove. So when I went out, on my way coming back, the weather drops to -16. It was terrible. I think that day I even shed tears because of how cold. My hands become inactive. So weather is one of the most challenging parts in Korea. So maybe for those of you coming for the first batch, if you are part of this thing, I think one of the things is to try and get something strong, something thick to protect you from the weather. Also, I think the summer, they said, is extremely bad, because of the humidity. In Korea, they say they have a very high humidity because this is the summer, but they said it's not up to the degree of the middle of the summer. So they say it will reach a time that life will be unbearable because of the high humidity. So Korean weather system is very dynamic, and we're lucky to have a very heavy snowfall. I think that has not fallen in Korea for close to 100 years. So during our time, we experienced that kind of snowfall where even buses have to stop. Trains stop moving, buses stop moving. So Korean weather is really something different. So if you're coming, you have to make your mind to face this kind of weather challenge. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Emmanuel. Thank you very much, Mr. Emmanuel, for that insightful clarification, because I wanted you to actually dwell more on that, because I know some people will be interested in that. However, I believe anywhere you are in this part of the world, once you change environment, you must actually learn to adapt with that particular environment. That is the keynote here. I believe people must actually learn to adapt to certain environment too, because you are not currently in your home. Anywhere you are, not just the weather, the people, their culture, you must definitely learn to adjust. And then another thing I want to also add more is rules. Korea has strict rules. So for those probably who are already opportune to be selected for batch 1, I believe they need to take note of that. They have strict rules, and you must abide by their rules. And I believe immediately you are in Korea, they will usually organize a special orientation for all selected scholars, and that will give you an ability to learn more about certain rules they have. You must also know that you are not your country, you are a foreigner here. That's why you are an international student. So you must learn to respect their culture, respect certain things that they've actually clearly stated that is wrong. And one thing also I want to let some people know is that Korea has a good monitoring system. So whatever you are doing, you are being monitored and you can be tracked. So be aware of that, and then put at the back of your mind that you're not going to do anything illicit. You are going to be a good ambassador of your country, because you are given an opportunity. That is why the program is really through Korea International Cooperation Agency. It's to enhance cooperation among developing countries, and particularly their own country. You will see people from Central Asia, people from East Africa, people from even North Africa also, with different cultural understanding, and then you are being asked to be together. So these are things that you must put at the back of your mind to be able to live comfortably. But one thing I want to assure you, once you have been selected for this particular program, you won't regret why you are here, because it's going to be a very, very well experience that you have to love to share. And one thing, the international cooperation is not just for now, it's even for the future, so that your country and Korean government can actually link up in the future for certain international collaboration. That is one of the key essence of this particular program. That is why it has been targeted at only government officials. They have their aim to integrate not just cultural differences, but also international collaboration. And I want us to put that at the back of our mind. So before we move into question and answer, I would like to ask Mala Abdullahi if he would just, maybe I'll just give him like 2 minutes if you have any experience, just similar to what Emmanuel have shared, so that once it is 12, we'll actually give room for question and answer. Just your own experience, I believe everybody have their personal experience. In fact, one of the first experience I had when I was, one thing I think he has forgotten is that you are being paired in a room. I don't know if that is the same thing with you now, Abdullahi and Imam.
Yeah, my Nigerian roommate.
Yeah, you are being paired in your room. You understand? Once you're here, you share, two people share one particular room setting, right? And then you share one toilet and one bathroom, right? And it's not necessary that the person must be from your country. I was sharing a room with somebody from Uzbekistan, in Central Asia.
Mm.
So the experience is, that is why you said earlier that you must learn to adjust. There are certain things that you must learn and unlearn, and then relearn also. So Abdullahi, please just share your own personal experience, so that at least those who have been selected already will prepare their mind, and then will be able to know certain things that they are supposed to know, prepare. In regards to weather, I think Korea have beautiful sweaters here. You don't need to, when you come here, you get them in multiple, the shoe, whatever you want, you get them here. I think that won't be a problem. So Abdullahi, please,
I think Mr. Emmanuel and you have almost said everything except for, I think, let me talk about like different, your culture. I think one good thing, I love my culture. Despite coming here, I've been on English wear most of the time, but I love wearing my kaftan. It sends like people love it. Like the culture is interesting, and also the one thing like people get scared about Korea is you must learn language. Most of the scholarship, not KOICA. KOICA is one of the, like, that's one very good thing about KOICA. You don't need to learn. You must not pass like Korean this before you know. You must, all our classes as a KOICA scholar is in English. You don't like take 1 year learning language. No, this is not how KOICA is. It's not, they try to like, you're government officials, so they respect you to a very good level. They don't force you to do things. In KOICA, I think KOICA scholars in every school, they are being respected. Whatever you want, you request for where you want to go. Field trip, sometimes we decide, we choose. Around Korea, we want to go this. We make decision for ourselves because they all respect government officials. They try to. And for Emmanuel, you said some of us, even me, before coming, I was saying no food, they eat a lot of pork, and I think due to restriction, my religion, I added weight. In Korea, you have options of a lot of foods that you get whatever you need. You might not end up missing a lot of things. So if you are scared of coming here because of the food or something, the noodles, they have a lot of options. When it comes to dietary, you get a lot of options of food and even friends. I came here to Korea thinking I'll not meet any outside people, but I met a lot of community. For Yoruba, you meet for anywhere you're coming from Nigeria, I can assure you, if you really look, you are going to find people that you are close to, people you are going to feel at home. So I think it's a wonderful experience overall, and I'm really enjoying my time here. And inshallah, I hope most of you get the scholarship and you also come here.
I think in regards to food, there is always a halal option. I know for those who are Muslims who will definitely be more extra careful in that regard, but there are always halal restaurants nearby. You can get halal from Arabs, Pakistanis, Indians, and then there is also African restaurants. I believe you can see you see many delicacies from Africa. Yes.
And for KOICA students, you even have a say. Like us in my school, we the Muslim, we say no, we want this. We have started divining like halal, don't buy this for us. Wherever they are paying food is either in buffet or we those that don't eat pork, you are given chance to choose what you can. Like you are being respected. One thing about KOICA, nothing is forced on you. Like they give you I believe most of us KOICA scholars, we are given a little like a very high regard in Korea. When you're a KOICA scholar, you are respected everywhere you go.
Thank you very much, Abdullahi, for that clarification. I think Dr. Buhari, I think probably we are just a few minutes to 12 now. The two presenters have actually done well. I think we can now proceed to question and answer for those who probably may have certain questions for the presenters. But one thing I want to clarify is that all questions should be targeted to just KOICA Scholarship Program, because that is the topic of discussion for today. If there is anything outside KOICA Scholarship Program, I think it should be directed to Gamji and then Dr. Buhari, who has been the team lead for the Gamji Educational and Mentorship Forum. But all questions regarding KOICA Forum, I think we'll try to do justice to that based on our own experience and what we've actually we know. And three of us here will assist in that regardless. But majorly, you can ask the presenters individually or even collectively if you feel like anything that you want clarification on. Dr. Buhari, are you with us?
Yes, Mr. Abubakar, I'm here. I think we can just go ahead with the Q&A session.
Okay. So, please, if
we have some questions in the chat box and others can still write their questions there, right?
Yes, and also there are people who raise their hands, so I will be unmuting them so that they will ask their question.
Yes, please, those who, if you are not allowed to speak yet, please don't unmute yet, please. Dr. Buhari, who are you starting with?
Yeah, in the list, I think there's Alhatu Usman, so you can see the list and see who raised their hand. So Alhatu Usman, you can go ahead and ask your question.
Okay, very good evening, sirs. Thank you very much for this wonderful presentation. My question goes like this. How can someone be nominated by the Federal Ministry of Budget and Planning? Do we need to email them or do we need to contact them in person? Because most of us are staying far away from Abuja. Thank you very much.
Mr. Abdullahi, please, you can answer that question. I believe you've addressed that in your presentation. Yeah. Maybe the person came in late, but I believe you've addressed that in your presentation.
Okay. It's like this. Wherever you are in Nigeria, when you see like presently the KOICA 2025 second batch of the scholarship is open until July. When you see something like this, you get all the requirement I stated earlier, and as much as possible, submit physically to Ministry of Budget. There's an office responsible for collating all the applicants. Wherever you are in Nigeria, not just Abuja workers, anywhere, as long as you are a local government staff, state government, federal government, parastat, just submit to Ministry of Budget. In Abuja, not like the state level or no. It has to be in the headquarters in Abuja. And they will collate everything and submit to KOICA. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Let me add up to what Abdullahi said. And I think there is also another option. Sometimes they share the slots to various ministries, just like your own ministry. So sometimes the selection comes from your own ministry, not from the Ministry of Budget. Then if your ministry selected you, then you proceed and submit your documents to Ministry of Budget and National Planning. So sometimes it may come from your own ministry and sometimes you may apply direct to Ministry of Budget. Thank you.
Mr. Osman Dalatu, if you are clear, I think to buttress the point of Mr. Emmanuel, sometimes if the courses that the school actually outlined for KOICA from university, so sometimes the ministries actually look out for, or maybe KOICA embassy actually look out for ministries or maybe organizations that have similar maybe department that actually handle that particular courses, and then they now suggest to them probably they should nominate from their department. Because from my experience, I think a letter was sent to my organization that there is a program from so university under KOICA that is related to my department, and that is how we are nominated to, and eventually I was selected. So sometimes it is like that. Excuse me. But regardless of where you are, just like Mr. Abdullah has stated, once you feel okay, you have requisite requirement that tally with the courses you've seen from their what they call admission portal, you can actually submit to the ministry based on, sometimes because there are people who have challenges in terms of recommendation, but it's the ministry's responsibility to recommend and then nominate to KOICA itself. In my own situation also, we have to submit the same document to Ministry of Budget and Planning. At the same time, we submit personally to KOICA embassy. That is during our time, but things may change. So you cannot just, that is why you have to look critically all their requirements before you proceed, because certain things may change. In our own situation, we submit all the documents, hard copies to KOICA embassy. We submit hard copies to Ministry of Budget and Planning, and then soft copy to my university my university email, the soft copy of all my documents during our own time. So every year they may have changes, you understand, but just make sure you go through all the process before you start the application process. Thank you. I don't know if you are clear.
Yeah. No, Mr. Abubakar, you know why like you have to go through your ministry is that budget will not send your name to KOICA until they see the nomination from your office. Like that's why you need like a backup. Even if you are coming from far away, you will not just come and submit your document. You need like a letter of recommendation. I'm very sure most of our offices or department like sent a letter attached when you're submitting your document, like attach letter of recommendation of so he's our staff and we recommend him for the scholarship. So even if you're coming from anywhere and you don't receive, like you need your office to like say they are recommending you for this scholarship. Yeah.
Please, any.
We have two people raising their hands.
So
I think.
Samsung SG, I think, is the next one. You can go ahead. I already unmuted him. Samsung SG.
Okay, good evening to everyone. I welcome you for this interesting sessions for all that are staff in our state. I would like to ask a questions relating to my field. Like, do you have any courses that you are did KOICA have a question a courses like my own? I study BSc Geography, MSc Geography. So are there any courses relating to my field of profession by KOICA? Thank you very much.
Yes, yes, I think, let me answer that, Mr. Abdullahi.
Yes, Saifullahi Muhammad.
Okay, geography is related to environmental courses. So in Seoul National University offer climate change and environment. And I was opportunity to study in that particular university. So one thing is just you, with your field in geography, you are qualified to apply for, so, but you have to get a recommendation from your office.
Okay.
You understand? But geography, environmental science related courses, you can apply for anything related to climate change and environment, which is in Seoul National University.
Okay, sir.
Something
okay,
similar.
sir. So, sir, can I have your WhatsApp number so that if I have any problems in relations to that, I would ask you?
Yes, inshallah, through Dr. Buhari, everything will be provided. Our details will be provided.
Yeah, send all your requests to gamji@edu.com. Then we will link you up with the.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Muhammad Usman, you can go ahead.
Abdullahi, you are muted. You are muted, Abdullahi.
Oh, okay. Hello. Sorry, to add to what Mr. Abubakar said, our host, is that I know sometime in this KOICA scholarship, they ask you to write like link your work, your present work to what you intend to study. So even if necessary, I'm studying artificial intelligence, but in my class, I have people in the background of auditing, taxation that are not related to AI, but because they wrote a statement, maybe their present work is linked to AI or linked to computer science or linked to technology. They got the opportunity. So sometimes if you can have a statement, something to prove your work, your present position in your office can be linked to the program you're applying, I think you stand a chance also. Thank you.
Muhammad Usman Soho, you can unmute and ask your question.
Yeah. Good afternoon, all. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, so my question is it has to do with people that are not really working. So how can they get the recommendation letter, or is it mandatory for them to get the recommendation letter before they can apply? That's one. And then secondly, for people working with CSOs, do they also need to get recommendation letter, or how can they go about it? Thank you.
Abdullahi, you can answer that, right?
Yeah, I think I can. The KOICA is clear on their rules. You need to be like a government official. It's clear, like government official. So if you are not working, it's quite difficult, except if you can get a nomination from an agency that can take responsibility of you. Because that one, KOICA does not know that, like, but from Nigeria, Ministry of Budget try to like see, because they write a letter that I think I saw the minister endorse. They link your name to where you are coming from, like your office, not the person, like the name of the office. So if you don't have like a government representative, I think it's quite difficult.
Yes, just like Abdullahi said, that is the first requirement. Honestly, that is just the first requirement. But maybe in the future they may have changes. But for now, I think that is the first requirement. Thank you.
Let me add up to what Abdullahi said. I think one of the things you need to understand is KOICA Scholarship is more of capacity building. You are coming here to be trained so that you can go back to your organization and apply the knowledge you acquired here. So that letter of recommendation is one of the most key important first step, because it's the sign that your organization are willing to release you. Because you have to go back, you have to come for your master's program, then go back and continue your work with your organization. So your organization have to write to Ministry of Budget that they are the one releasing you, that when you go, you are coming back. So without that letter of recommendation, I don't think you can even pass the first stage. It's the most important part of the scholarship from the first stage.
Yes. Emmanuel, we mean something to say. KOICA Scholarship, it's compulsory, you must come back. It's not a type of scholarship that if you go on the day you are leaving Korea, KOICA make sure a bus is taking you from your home, from your destination to the airport.
Yes.
Yeah, you must go back. KOICA Scholarship, there is no maneuver that if you come, you are going to extend.
No.
So you must return to your office. Maybe later on, if you have other opportunities, fine. But KOICA, you must go back. So that's one unique thing about KOICA. You can't stay when you come. Once your date is over, you must leave. KOICA must take you back.
Thank you, Abdullahi, for that clarification.
Then in Phoenix, you can go ahead and ask a question. So Abubakar, there are some questions in the chat, but also maybe you can.
Can
Yeah,
you
go ahead.
hear me, sir? Thank
Go
you,
ahead.
sir, for giving us this opportunity. I want to ask: is grade matters when it comes to application? Does grades play a vital role in getting the scholarship? Because like all the graduated with like second class of some scholarship, they consider like first class students. Does that matters when it comes to application? Thank you.
Abdullahi. Is Abdullahi still with us?
Yes, I'm here, sir.
Okay, please, you can answer that.
He's talking about, I think if I got the question right, he's talking about does grade really matters? I think for KOICA, first of all, be a staff. It's most important than you finish with first class or second class or be a government official. That is the decision of the university. If 10 people apply for the same program, I think definitely the university in that aspect, in their own decision, can look at the grade. But once your name has been nominated, that university can look at that. But that's up to the university, not KOICA. I think the university that want to select a student might want to choose. It's their decision, maybe certain things, but it's not like a key thing that they tell you must come with first class. I don't think it's paramount to like first class, second class, upper. Just the most important, be a government official. The rest will be handled by the university.
Thank you very much, Abdullahi. I think that in addition to that, the most important thing also is for you to just know that, okay, they want to know what you are doing. Just like Abdullahi stated earlier in his presentation, what are you doing currently in respect to that particular that is related to the field you are applying for? And that after you are done, how will that now benefit your department or your organization? That is the key thing, I think. So please, the grade is not that too necessary, but it's important that they want to see what you are doing currently that is related or aligned with what you are applying. Thank you.
So Abubakar, there are some questions in the chat box. Can you read them, or I should go ahead and read? Abubakar.
I'm trying to assess the first message is up about is my Kusoi. But please, you can just access and read
Okay.
for us, maybe.
Okay, yeah, it's okay. I will read them. This one said, "Thank you for the wonderful presentation. I was really, let me just go straight. Okay. But the major issue, I'm not working with government agency, but a private sector. So all document I have them, but I'll keep. Yeah, can someone working in the private sector also apply, or it has to be strictly under government?
I think Abdullahi have made clarification on that earlier.
Yeah,
Oh,
we have
okay,
answered,
okay.
okay.
Then I think you can just go ahead. Hello, I would like to ask when do the applications usually open? Yeah, in
KOICA
that case,
application, yeah, it starts in February. I think the first batch, every year they have 2 batch. So the first one start in February, and the process goes, what we discussed, the process start until, I think last month, that is May, June. It's over, then another one starts, which stops in, at presently, the second batch is open until July next month, before it will be closed also.
this one said, is there a certain years of experience needed for a civil servant to apply for the scholarship, and is release later a requirement?
I think Abdullahi
Yes.
have made clarification.
Yes, for the one of, is there a years of experience? Most time, that has to do with your office. Every agency or government have their rules. You just came here, you are not yet a permanent staff. We can't allow you to go and study further. But like, if you can get their release, I think KOICA state that you must be working. I think I've read it somewhere. I can't be sure that you have to be working for 3 or more years. I think something like. But the issue now is the office. I know agencies, big agencies that have a very good framework, like don't relieve staff that have not been like a permanent staff. I know for you to be a permanent staff depends. Some is 2 years, 1 year, 3 before you are a confirmed staff, like a permanent staff, then you can be released. But as long as you are going to be released, I think it's not a big deal. And a release letter, yeah, that's the confirmation. Yeah, a recommendation letter is a key requirement. Yes, it's compulsory.
Another key thing is age, Abdullahi, right? For
Yes.
masters is around 35, I think 30 to 35, right?
Age?
Yes. And then from a PhD, I think it's from 40, because initially I learned usually before there wasn't that kind of barrier. During our own set, I think they stated that age bracket for masters. I don't know for yours, for your own set.
Yeah, I think, I'm not sure, because I think in my class I have someone of, I think, 22 years old. He's a government official in Uzbekistan, and we are together now. So I don't think, I'm not sure. Maybe every year, KOICA comes with new rules. I didn't study the age restriction this year. So, but I know they said you should be less than 40, like overall, because so I don't know. Yeah.
Yes.
This one said, does KOICA scholarship covers all field of study? I think you have said that in the presentation, but maybe you can just.
Yes, it covers everywhere, as long as you can link. They read your personal statement. I know because when I came to KOICA, one of my like the people, they read your personal statement. You should try to link your work back home with what you're applying. What do you want? Why do you want to study with them? Like, you should try to link these two. If you have the background, additional advantage. But if you can link your present work, like you can make a difference with what they are, or with the course you're applying, I think every field has a chance.
This one says, my question is, if a person was opportunity to study masters granted by KOICA scholarship, and he still apply for PhD through the same KOICA, so you're asking, is it after you finish your masters through KOICA, can you still apply PhD?
I think
Yes.
after I make clarification on
Yes.
that.
You can apply, but I think there is a rule, even though it depends on the school, that when you finish, you have to wait for at least, if you finish your masters for, I think, 2 years or thereabout, there's an age before you can.
3 years.
3 years. But now I know of students that came
They're
back
trying
after
to make
6
adjustments, I think, yes.
Yeah, but I know people come back after 6 months. If your professor can say he wants you, if the professor and responsible for the program really wants you, that it's not like a compulsory, it's not a rule that cannot be broken.
So I have one question also. I know, like, it says it cover most of the government agency, but is it including military as well? I know it can, some parastatals also can apply, because some have come here already before, like customs and immigration. So can military also apply to KOICA scholarship?
This one passed my power. I mean,
No, Abdullahi, and you know your organization is actually related to that, and that is why I feel maybe you answer this question more better, since most of the proceedings are pushed to your side, to your agency.
I've studied a lot of KOICA things, but you know, anything that has to do with military, a lot of countries take it sensitive because military is paramilitary is understandable, but military, you have a general, the global context of military, you have like one type of immunity that KOICA, I don't know, but I don't have a clear answer for military. This has been the top question from
Yes, for
KOICA
this is
Scholarship.
the first time. I'm also maybe in the next subsequent section, we'll address that after.
Yes, I will also ask.
Because there are some people who are interested, but they are in the military. So probably if they can apply, I think there some will be interested to apply. But I think maybe we will try to get the answers from KOICA directly or from the related agencies. So this one says must you present both transcripts for degree and masters if you have both certificates?
Yes, you must present it. But for PhD, the condition, that's if you say masters and transcript, that's if you want to apply. If I understand, if you want to apply for PhD, but the condition for PhD, KOICA PhD, is you must have a master's here in Korea in a Korean school. So, but if it is masters, you just need your degree and your transcript here.
This one say, if I have a master's degree, can I reapply for another master's via KOICA? I think yes, right?
Yes, but I think you don't need to inform them. I think you don't need to tell them you have just give them the degree and the first degree and the transcript for that.
Yeah,
I don't know if there is anything. I think for PhD, is it not like you must be a KOICA fellow, like you did your masters as a scholarship scholar before you can get the PhD under KOICA?
What I know is you must study in Korea, but I think it's another thing because all the PhD students I know in KOICA did their masters under KOICA, not another scholarship. So, but I think also these two questions, inshallah, I'm going to ask our KOICA coordinator for clarity.
I think let me add up to what Mr. Abubakar asked presently. I think for you to apply for the PhD, you must be a KOICA fellow. Not studying from any Korean university. Even if you study from any Korean university or you have gotten another Korean scholarship, you can apply for the PhD. You must study under KOICA, get your master's under KOICA before you'll be eligible to apply for the PhD. I think that's the rule. Yeah.
Yes. I think I agree with Ima because I think I've seen something similar even while applying during that. But I don't know if anything has changed. But I think something similar like that is there. Thank you, Emmanuel.
Mahmoud Bako, you can go ahead. Mahmoud Bako, you've raised your hand, so you can mute and ask your question.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, everyone.
Wa alaikum salam. Oh, it's our Mahmoud even. Wa alaikum salam. Go ahead.
I must commend the presenters as well as the anchors of the program. It's really very, very interesting, and it virtually encapsulates everything that one needs to know regarding the KOICA program. However, the main question I wanted to ask along the way after I raised my hand, I think they just finished doing justice to it. That's regarding PhD. So nevertheless, I would like to just say one other thing, which is like a little contribution, because I heard someone ask a question, what of those that work in the private sector or maybe students that just graduated and want to apply? I think those ones could also contact the Gamji forum so that they could get information regarding other scholarships, because there are other scholarships which are merit-based, which you need to, maybe you have second class upper or first class or even second class lower, which you need to apply for. So if you can't get KOICA, you can get information on other scholarships such as the GKS scholarship, which is strictly merit-based, as well as professor scholarship. professor scholarship, you can actually get it directly from the professor without going through any scholarship body. So I think this will be my additional contribution. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Mahmoud.
Thank you for that clarification. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So I think that's all the question, Abubakar.
Okay, that's all for now, right?
So, Mr. Abubakar, before you conclude, I think I know something that I don't know if we are all aware of. For KOICA Scholars, I only applied once, and the year I applied, I luckily passed it. But I know of people that applied 2, 3, 4 times. One thing about KOICA Scholarship, according to Ministry of Budget, Hajia Fatima, to be precise, who is responsible for the collation, she told me, if you applied last year and you failed, the school send you maybe an email, you are rejected, so. You can apply directly the following year. If you are sure your office will agree, you don't need you have like an upper hand again. Even though if I saw a mail of one of the students that got rejected this year from my school, and they told him the same thing too. We are sorry for this. You can apply again next year, and they look at your application from last year. It's not like you are doing a new thing. I think KOICA have respect to people they dropped previously. Even Budget is aware, because Hajia Fatima, when she was checking my friend, she saw his mail he applied the previous year. She told him no, he doesn't need to go through what. She'll just let him just get his document and she forwarded it. He has like a chance. He's like at a better level than I was there. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Abdullahi. I think you are right on that. And one thing I also want to add is that one experience we had, our professor shared with us. Sometimes the reason why some people are rejected is not because they are not good enough, or maybe because the person that has been selected is better. There is just some, maybe the number, like in our own side, I think we are just 23. Sometimes because each country have a specialized number that has been assigned to each country, and at the same time, each continent. Africa now may have so number, then they will now divide it among countries. And then the same thing in Central Asia, that is how they do. So sometimes if somebody is being rejected, it doesn't mean that the person is not good enough. And one thing I also want to say, because it happened during our own set, somebody was selected in the first screening, he succeeded, then the other person was rejected. But while they were processing visa, this person that was selected now have family crisis issue that the person could not come. So it was that same person, the second person that was rejected earlier, that was now being picked. You get the point now. So sometimes it's not that the person, so don't just give up. Regardless, you can apply something and then even indicate that you've applied before. So it's an added advantage, I think.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Then let me add up to something regarding the application process. I think one of the important things we should know, because of how tedious the application process is, I think I'm one of the people that suffer most, me and Bashar, because of our journey from Bauchi to Abuja, KB to Abuja. You can also, if you have somebody in Abuja, you can send your document and someone can help you to authenticate and notarize your document without you, because going by yourself, if you're living far away, is very expensive. It's very expensive. So we don't know all about this until when we suffered. That's when we are told that you can send someone to do the same thing for you, even in your absence. Yeah, so for this is for our brothers that are living far away from Abuja. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Imam, for that clarification. Honestly, I think everybody will have experience in that regard when it comes to the application process and the struggles. And that is part of the price we pay for, because after you've gotten this opportunity, you will feel that, yeah, it is worth it. So never give up regardless.
So ask them, is anybody struggling with?
Also, there are, I think, some suggestion that shared by Shamsuddin. He said also maybe there is some need for some people to take some little upkeep while they are coming, in case if I don't know if they give some immediately after you arrive Korea, they give some kind of settlement allowance or something like that. So if not, then maybe some people need to take some little money, and also be careful with the restricted items that are not allowed to enter Korea.
Yes, I think like my own experience, I think it's very important you have cash with you, or maybe probably change to dollar. You understand? Because that first 2 weeks, probably they need to start processing maybe your account or whatever. So they don't give you anything at that time. So it is what you have then that you can actually use. In my own case, when I came, I met someone who was a Nigerian. So she actually loaned me the money in Korean won. You understand? So I was using that before they started paying, or maybe they give us that stipend, that first. But everybody can share their own experience in that regard. That is very important also, so that you won't be stranded.
Okay. Yes, this is very important. I think for my own case, the day we arrived, that very night, the following morning, we got our settlement allowance. We received it. But for, I think, the person that asked the question, Shamsuddin, I think he had some contribution, so I wanted to like unmute him, but I think he's not here. So he took 2 months. I think he lost 2 kilos before the.
Oh, mine was like 2 weeks.
Mine was the second day we got it.
Well,
but
you
then
are
they had.
Yeah, each university, I think they have their own procedure and delayment, I think sometimes.
Yeah. So Shamsuddin, you can. I think Shams is here and he wanted to. He has a contribution.
Okay, let me just add up some more. I think for me, I think food is very important. Make sure that you bring something with you when you're coming from home. Because even in the absence of money, you can still sustain yourself with your food. Because I told you earlier that adaptation to Korean food sometimes is difficult. If you have your own food with you, you can be managing, pending when your money will come or when you have time to go and get some groceries. But for the day we came, we entered our room with our settlement allowances, our monthly allowances, the same time in cash. Yeah.
So Shams, are you here?
Oh yeah, I'm here. Well done, guys, for this wonderful presentation and guideline for this scholarship opportunity. So basically, why I mentioned that or suggested for someone to mention it was because when we came, I'm in the same school with Abdullahi, but when we came, they got their allowance, their settlement allowance the next day. But while me studying a different course in the same university, it took us about, I think, 2 to 3 months before we got our settlement allowance. Wow. So before we came, the coordinator handling our program suggested we carry cash, change it to dollars and then carry with you in case your settlement allowance does not reach you on time. At least you would have something to, buy things with. So that is why I actually said someone should ask the question to make the recommendation, so that you just don't come empty-handed. In case, it's just in case you are never sure whether you are going to get it on time, or it will take some couple of weeks or even months before you get it. So also on the food, Mr. Emmanuel has already addressed that. If you can, check the restrictions on food items, and then carry what you think you would need, because it will go a long way before you actually settle and maybe find a place you can get groceries, especially some of the groceries there. You may not find what you're looking for, like what you're used to back home. So it is necessary to carry some spices or things that are not restricted, and things that you can, if maybe customs stops you, that you can, defend that, okay, this is why you carried it, and then it's not part of the restricted food items. So that is just my contribution. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Shamsuddin, for that contribution. Honestly, in fact, I agree with you, Matu. That food aspect is very, very important. In fact, the food I came with, I think it was what I was using for like 1 month plus before I started adapting with certain things, or maybe locate African restaurant. It's very, very important because stomach is key.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Mr. Abubakar. Please, I know the question has not been asked, but I know our time is also the allocated time. If we can have 2 minutes more for Shams, because Shams is one of the ones that studied among us, I think he studied in a foreign country. So his own process was quite different from just a little, just a small gap. I would like him in 2 minutes to tell us, for those that have maybe in another degree from maybe India, another that are here, to know the difference. It's not like, if you can give us 2 minutes, Mr. Host, so Sharps can discuss that, please.
Okay, I also like to take that permission from my boss also, Dr. Buhari. Dr. Buhari.
No, you are in charge, Abubakar, not me. I think Shamsuddin, yeah, it's very important to highlight that. So I think Shamsuddin, you can go ahead.
Yes, Shamsuddin, you can go ahead. Thank you very much, sir.
Shamsuddin, your mouth is mute.
Is it here? Oh yeah, he's here.
Shamsuddin.
Yeah, okay. Someone had to unmute me. So thank you very much. Yeah, the process is slightly different for candidates that have foreign degrees. In my own case, my experience is slightly different from what Abdullahi discussed, but he also shed light on the exact process I passed through. So I have a foreign degree from the UK. So when I went to the Ministry of Education to authenticate my documents, they told me that my degree is a foreign certificate, so they can't authenticate it for me. So I had to reach out to my university for guidance, and when they responded, they put me through the process that I needed to go to the British Council, which is in charge of authenticating foreign degrees from the UK. So I had to go there. I paid some money. There's a process attached to it that you paid, but it's not really more depending on the number of documents that you want to authenticate. You can authenticate even your secondary school certificate, for example, from the British Council, if you wish to do so. So I did that. I authenticated all my documents so that I will not hear stories later on that, okay, you didn't authenticate this, you didn't authenticate that. So I authenticated all my documents before taking it to Foreign Affairs for further authentication. And then also I had an issue from my university. After going through that process, they still asked me for I can't remember what did they call it, something in the line of like a notary, that I needed to do a notary even after authenticating from the British Council, which is like the only place that you need to go to authenticate your degree from the UK. But they said that wasn't enough. So the after sending my documents to the school with KOICA, I had to pay additional money to send my documents again, because you only have one chance to send it free by KOICA. KOICA sponsors that first one. But any subsequent request that you need to send your documents, you have to pay it by yourself. So my school reached out to me that, okay, I needed to get a sort of, I can't remember what they call it, but it's sort of like a notary on your authenticated documents. So I had to find out, okay, where do I get that? Because I had exhausted all my options. Like I didn't know what to do anymore, because I went to British Council again that, okay, this is what my school said, that I need to get that notary, but they said what they've done to my documents, that is the only thing that they do, and which is like a sort of makes it official for use to apply for master's or PhD or any other thing that you need to do. So I had to just use my own initiative and reach out to Federal High Court to get a CTC. In addition to the authentication I got from the British Council, I got a CTC from the High Court, and also got a notary seal with the signatures that come with it. So it is after I did that I sent my documents. I paid again additionally to send the documents to Korea. It was a tough process, but like it was mentioned, it's a tough process, but once you go through it, everything else, you feel relaxed once you get the scholarship. So I paid again and then sent my documents. It was after that I finally got my admission. So it's a tough opportunity, but it's a good one. Yeah, just be patient and just follow the process step by step, and do what you need to do to get the scholarship. I wish everybody luck. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Shamsuddin. That is a wonderful contribution. Thank you very much for that insight. So while he was making his own contribution, I think somebody asked Dr. Bori, I think this question came in last now, right? Is it possible to start and finish the application before the closing date in July, as it was said? The duration, I think the person is looking at the duration now and July. So maybe Abdullahi, you shed more light on that.
Yeah, I think, yeah, you can, as long as university. The main issue, when you go to Korean embassy and you tell them you're KOICA will always tell you when you're in the embassy, tell them you're applying for KOICA. So embassy are fast enough to a very good level. So your issue is your university. Getting your transcript, if you already have your transcript, fine, it's okay. But now the issue is the university giving you sending your mail to Ministry of Education for you to get authenticated. That process with Ministry of Education, I think it's what could take time. And also KOICA. Ministry of Budget have a date to submit all these applicants to KOICA. So you should confirm. If you want to really apply, reach out to Ministry of Budget, confirm the day they are sending this last batch. They set a date. Try, if you can meet up with that date, that's when you can. You should know if you can or you cannot. I think first step is knowing the submission date from Ministry of Budget.
Thank you very much, Abdullahi. I think we've taken enough time, Dr. Buhari. We just need to round up. We are supposed to round up by 12:30.
Yes.
Yes. Dr. Buhari, I think we can round up right now, right?
Yes, I think so.
Okay. Thank you, everyone, for participating. And especially, I want to appreciate Gamji Education and Mentorship Forum for giving us this platform to share and then share the experience and discuss, as the presenters have discussed. We want to appreciate you more for doing what you've been doing, especially for the younger ones. And I also want to encourage everyone, not just KOICA Scholarship, other scholarship, to actually explore this opportunity. And then you can always reach out to Gamji to get more insightful application procedures and what you need to do. And for us from KOICA team, anybody can reach out to us once, either through Gamji or Abdullahi or myself or even Ima, for more one-on-one advice or whatever. We appreciate everyone for participating in this particular discussion. Thank you very much, and I wish everybody all the best. And for those who have applied already, congratulations in advance, and I wish you all the best in Korea. Thank you very much, and God bless you. Dr. Ibrahim Buhari, please, you can.
Yeah, so thank you all for joining us on this session. I really appreciate, on behalf of Gamji Educational and Mentorship Forum, I appreciate our presenters, Mr. Abdullahi Sani and Mr. Emmanuel Hassan. I also appreciate our moderator, Mr. Abubakar Dakpanchi, who wonderfully coordinating this program. So I hope you found this session insightful, and also it clarifies some of your questions, and also it motivates you to continue with your application on KOICA Scholarship. Actually, KOICA Scholarship is one of the unique scholarship that I know, because most of the scholarship that we know is open to a general population, for student and for academic and research. So I think it's only KOICA Scholarship that I know is specifically designed for government employees. So I think if you are a government employee, this is a really good opportunity for you to apply for the scholarship program. We, as that we come in another different scholarship, we always envy KOICA student, because they come here just like a vacation, so they are really chilling. They go everywhere. They are treating them like a babies, but we always research and everything. We are being treated totally different. So if you are really a government employee, it's a scholarship that is worth applying. As a KOICA scholarship, you can come to Korea. You spend only barely 2 years, but the experience that you have that they used to get, it used to surface us that spend maybe 5 to 10 years in Korea. So it's a really, really nice scholarship. And if you are lucky, you will go back with a loaded experience and a loaded pocket. So it's somehow an added advantage.
Doctor, you are exaggerating.
That's some kind of motivation. So
but I know you are motivating.
So if you have the chance, you should really apply. So we appreciate everyone. The recording will be available in our Gamji Facebook page and our YouTube. Also, you can go to our newly launch website, www.gamgeeduforum.com. You can see all our programs and access all the things that we do. So I wish you all the best, and thank you once again, our presenters and our moderator.
Thank you very much, Dr. Buhari.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. God
Thank
bless
you so much, sir.
Thank you.